I don't think this video is gonna happen. Good morning, my name is Kendra, and today I have a few sweatshirts to embroider that I want to show you what I'm doing, as well as tell you some tips and answer some questions that I've been getting from YouTube. And then later I want to share some exciting news that is kind of in the works and will possibly lead me to more embroidery adventures and things to do and to try. Let's get into the embroidery part. I don't know if I said this already, but the sweatshirts are each gonna say hashtag social worker on them. And she's letting it up, she's giving it up to me. Does that make sense? She's letting me decide if it's gonna be uppercase or lowercase. She didn't specify a font or anything, so I'm just gonna figure it out. And then I'm assuming that I'm gonna be using my biggest hoop size, which is a 6" by 10". So if you've seen my other videos or you follow me on my embroidery account on Instagram, the sweatshirt that I did bamboozled, the bamboozled sweatshirt, that was a 6" by 10" hoop. That's the biggest size I could do. So I'm thinking of just doing that. So that font was font number 7. So I'm gonna see what that looks like. And this part's kind of tedious. That's what it's saying it's gonna look like. So I'm just gonna play around with a few different versions and see which one I think will look best. I think I'm gonna do lowercase. All right, see you later. Just messaged the customer and asked them if they want it to be the largest font possible or if they wanted a little smaller, and she just got back to me and said a little bit smaller. So I'm actually going to change it to my 5 by 7 hoop because it makes hooping a lot easier. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay, good seeing ya. I just finished the first sweatshirt and it turned out really well. Just a second, I have to go see where my son went. Okay, where was I? So the first sweatshirt went really well. There was no problems, which was really surprising. So now that I have half of the embroidery order done, I wanted to give a little update and share some progress with my business. So the lady from last week's video with the 6 sweatshirts that said, if nothing else, love, she hasn't picked up her sweatshirts yet. She's supposed to pick them up today. So I don't know yet if she's going to still purchase the one with the stain on it or if she's going to want me to redo it. So I'm just going to give her that option. And so I don't know yet if I'm going to be doing a redo. And then The exciting thing is that I had somebody message me on Instagram yesterday, and she said that she's a business owner in my area hosting an event in about a month, and she has 20 sweatshirts that she needs embroidered with 2 different designs on them. Yesterday, I came up with a whole bunch of numbers. I talked it over with Joe, tried to figure out how much work it would be, and we came up with a number, and I sent it over to her, and sounds like she likes it and she's going to go with me. Basically, it came out to $30 per sweatshirt for both of those designs, plus a $100 setup fee because the digitizing will cost me quite a bit of money to get 2 designs digitized. So that's $700. So that's gonna be definitely my largest order. That's an exciting thing. After this next sweatshirt's done, I'll go over some tips. So let's get into that. I completed all of the sweatshirts that I needed to do today, so I'm happy with how they turned out. They're all done. So now I wanted to go over some embroidery tips that I have, as well as answering a few questions that I've seen on my other videos, and just kind of explain things that I think might be helpful for people that are interested in doing embroidery or are already doing embroidery and want to make money off of it. So my first tip is to really make sure and double triple check that when you've hooped your material and you've put it in the machine and you have the needle centered over everything, that you are making sure there is no fabric underneath or around the hoop area, and that it's all placed on top and you have it either pinned away or just pushed to the side. I've ruined a lot of different garments and hats even from forgetting about it, or like I'll get like a message that the bobbin's low, and so I'll take the hoop out and then I'll change the bobbin out, put it back, and then I'll forget to check again, and then I'm stitching, everything's fine, and then I take it out and it's sewed through, and it's just so disappointing because you just spent all that time setting everything up. Now you've ruined it. Like, there's really no way to fix it. You can try to seam rip it. When I've done that, it hasn't ever worked out. And then you saw it in the beginning of this video when I was cutting my stabilizer, but my next tip is to cut all of the stabilizer pieces that you need for that whole project. So instead of just doing one sweatshirt and cutting out the stabilizer that you need for that one and then doing it again for the next one, it's just so much more handy to have your roll and just like lay it out. And for this project today, I had 2 sweatshirts, so I used 2 pieces of stabilizer for each one. My next tip is to float your fabric instead of hooping your fabric with the stabilizer. Especially, I don't even think you'd be able to hoop a sweatshirt that is thick in material with a few pieces of stabilizer. Just get used to floating fabric. So what you do is you just hoop the stabilizers and then you measure everything out on your sweatshirt, and then you place the hoop inside and then spray it down and then place your material on top. So if you've seen my time lapses of me doing that, that's what I'm doing. I'm not spraying directly on the material, I'm spraying onto the stabilizer, and then that way it just goes right on top, and then I don't have any issues with getting hoop burn or getting it not right and I have to keep readjusting it. And then I also had a question about what products I've had issues with. So I thought this was really interesting because I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of experience, but I guess I have used a few different brands of things. So my first thing I wanted to talk about is sweatshirt material and quality, specifically when you talk about Gildan. So Gildan sweatshirts are just really popular because they're very cheap. That product is just not very good. It's just not very high quality. Like the last few I was getting for my orders, I would receive them and they would already be pilling. So I just don't like that. It's just not a very good sign. And then like I'm putting this usually like a beautiful piece of embroidery on like an already pilled sweatshirt. It just didn't feel right. So I've upgraded, and so I've tried over the last few months, I've tried multiple different sweatshirt brands. So I wanted to go over what I think about sweatshirt brands that I've tried and which one is my favorite. You could probably guess. The worst one is Gildan. They get a 3 out of 10. They're fine if you're just practicing, like that's what I was doing. But if you start selling sweatshirts, I don't recommend that you sell them, really. Just like wear them for yourself, or maybe they're fine as gifts, but I don't really like the quality of them now that I've tested a few different brands. So they get a 3 out of 10. My next one is the brand Jerseys. If you sign up with the distributor, specifically S&S Activewear, they're like one of the bigger ones. They have a brand there called Jerseys, and they're basically the same exact price, basically the same material and quality as Gildan. They might be a little bit better, but I really can't tell. I couldn't really tell at all. They also get a 3 out of 10 because I just didn't really see any difference. The next one's actually pretty surprising, and I actually do recommend them. It's the Amazon Essentials brand of sweatshirts. They were much softer and much better quality than Gildan's. You can get them on Amazon and get them Prime, so you don't have to pay for shipping. I think when I ordered a few, they were $10 each. My husband just came in just a second. Go with Amazon Essentials over Gildan to sell and to practice with. I wouldn't have really a problem with Amazon Essentials. They're not like fantastic, but they're really not bad. Not bad quality. Surprising. And so the next one, this might be controversial if people really like this, because I've heard a really lot of good things about this brand, but it's Bella Canvas's sweatshirts. And so they probably have different thicknesses and quality, but the one that I tried was like literally $17 through S&S. The material of the sweatshirt was so paper thin, and I was like, this isn't a sweatshirt quality. This is more like a t-shirt quality with a really fuzzy soft inside. And they were really soft, like extremely soft, but I really didn't like the thickness for how much I paid. So for that reason, I don't really buy Bella Canvas anymore. I don't think I've repurchased it. They're like, I would give them a 6 out of 10. I think they're the most expensive out of the ones I've tried, and they're really thin. So while they're very soft and they're very comfortable, and it might be worth it for you and your investment in your business, I didn't like them. Like, I just don't think they're worth the price. I think they should be thicker. So that's just my opinion. The last brand that I tried is my favorite one. I've heard also really good things about them, but just not as much, I don't think. But it's Independent Trading Co. That's basically all that I use now. That's the brand I go to. They have zip up sweatshirts, hoodies, they have just normal crew necks. They're just very good quality. Like, they just are thick enough. They're just soft enough. They're very still much so inexpensive for me. And they're like $11 on S&S Activewear. So I'm giving them a 9 out of 10 just because I like them so much. They just have a really good color selection as well. So they're just like the best ones so far that I've found. So if you guys know of any other ones that I should try, I would like to know that, so you can tell me. My last thing I wanted to share is that my family's opening up a bookstore. And so I'm probably going to be able to sell some embroidery there and like make their logo and put it on sweatshirts. So that's going to be coming up fairly soon, within the next few months. But we do need some donations. If anyone is interested in donating, you can check out my link below. I'll put it in the description, and then that way you can see what's going on and what my family's up to. That's just a little fun thing that's happening. I think that's it. If you have any more questions for me, please leave them below. Please tell me what you'd like to see next and more from me. Please subscribe and like this video as well, and I will see you later. Okay, bye.